Hello everyone, this is our lecture number 9, Introduction to Limit State Method. In this lecture, we study about the design philosophy of LSM and basic concept which we used for analysis and design of beams with the help of limit state method. In our previous lectures, we done with working stress method. In working stress method, we study design philosophy, analysis, design, and numerical problem based on analysis and design. You say that limit state method is the advance of working stress method. In working stress method, we have take a factor of safety only. But in limit state method, we take partial factor of safety. Now, how this method is worked and used, we study in our lectures and the lectures which we are making in continuations. So let's start this lecture. First, here we have design philosophy of LSM. This method is advancement over traditional design method and it is a plastic design method. This method gives comprehensive and rational solution to design problem. Unlike WSM, which is based on calculation of working stress of material alone, unlike ULM is the ultimate load method, which is based on calculation of ultimate load condition alone. In working stress method, we have take strength of material only. So that's why here we write working stress of material alone. Here we used concept safety at ultimate load and serviceability at working load. So in limit state method, we have used multiple safety factor for adequate safety and serviceability by considering the limit state. In limit state, this is the definition or statement: the acceptable limit for the safety and serviceability requirement before failure occurs. Limit state means before failure occurs, it provides a better safety and serviceability requirements. And limit states is divided in two parts: limit state of collapse or failure and limit state of serviceability. In limit state of collapse or failure, we have considered flexural means bending, compression, shear, torsion. And limit state of serviceability, we consider deflection, cracking, vibration, fire resistance, etc. So, as we see in previous slides, it is depends on multiple safety factors. So here, based on experience, tradition, and engineering judgment, we divided two factors. First is load and resistance factor design format and partial safety factors format. In India, we used partial safety factors format, and LFRD is used in other countries. So here we focus on partial safety factor format. Partial safety factor is depends on two things. First is reduced material strength using partial safety factor and enhanced load using partial safety factor. So for that we have one table for strengthening the material or enhance the load using reduced material strength by partial factor or enhanced load using partial safety factors. So this is the table for limit state of collapse, in which we consider bending, compression, etc. We have take gamma is equal to 1.5 for a concrete and for steel 1.15. Means this is the partial factor of safety for concrete and reinforcement or a steel. And limit state of serviceability, this value is 1 for both case, concrete and steel. Same we have to enhance the load. For that we have used load combination. So in limit state of collapse we have used first load combination is 1.5. This is the partial factor of safety plus multiply with dead load plus live load. Second combination is 1.5 dead load plus wind load or 0.9 dead load plus 1.5 wind load. We take one from these two equation, and third one is the 1.2 multiplication with dead load plus live load plus wind load. Same we have considered for the limit state of serviceability. Here we used partial factor of safety is 1 in first combination, again 1 in second combination, and in third combination we have take 1 for dead load and 0.8 and 0.8 for live load and wind load. So these are the partial factor of safety we considered for a material and enhance the load. Now how we find the stress with the help of this partial factor of safety. For example, if we making a building and here we use M30 grade concrete. So 30 is the FCK value, which is the characteristic strength of the concrete, means 30 Newton per mm square. So for finding the design strength of concrete, what we have to do? We have to divide it with partial factor of safety. But before that, here we have given 0.67 FCK. Why we use here 0.67 FCK? Because actually when we cast a cube, we cast in a laboratory with a perfect dimension and perfect material. But when you cast or construct a building, it's at site, there is a difference between result in laboratory test and field test. That's why here we decrease this compressive stress decrease as size increase. Means due to influence of size, here we take 0.67 times of FCK. Because this building is constructed at site and you perform all tests at site. So here compressive stress decreases as size increases. Because in laboratory you have cube mold which is 150, but at side maybe it's vary. So here we get design strength of concrete is 0.45 FCK. Same we have to find for steel. Design strength of steel is Fy upon partial factor of safety. So here we get 0.87 Fy. So these are the design strength of steel and these are the design strength of concrete. Now here we have some stress strain curve for concrete and steel. This stress strain curve is given in IS 456-2000. First, you have characteristic curve of cube, which is FCK curve. Second one is the characteristic curve of structure, which is 0.67 FCK, and third one is the design strain curve, which is 0.45 FCK. This is the 0.45 FCK, and you already know how we find this 0.45 FCK and how we take 0.67 FCK. So these are the curve which we draw for a concrete part, and it is known as stress strain curve for a concrete. This value is gives us strain value, and 0.0035 the maximum ultimate strain of compression side. And you already know that 0.002 is the proof stress. In concrete diagram you have seen we have gone some time up to this parabolic and after that we have gone for rectangular. So maybe this question asked in interview the regarding diagram, means if you start with origin your diagram is parabolic and after some time it is rectangular in shape. Same we have stress strain curve for reinforcement steel. First it is for mild steel bar and second one is for HYSD bar. Here we have different curve for design curve and characteristic curve, and here we get 0.87 as a design strength of steel, and we get strain value is 0.87 Fy ES. Why? because we know that modulus of elasticity is equal to stress upon strain. So strain is equal to stress upon modulus of elasticity, and here design stress is 0.87 Fy. That's why here we get 0.87 Fy upon ES. For HYSD bar, we have same formula used here 0.87, but here graph is changed, and here strain value is also same because here we considered proof stress also. So here formula is 0.87 Fy ES plus 0.002. This is one is the proof stress. So these both are given in IS 456 2000. Now some importance of flexural behavior of beam. So what is the important concept of flexural behavior of beam? You know that when we applied a load on a beam, it deflect or give various positions. Means if you applied a load on a beam on a slab, it's bent. But if you applied a load on a column and a footing, where compression and bending both are occurs. But in case of beam and slab, bending is occurs. So a good understanding of flexural behavior is important for making good design decision for material strength and section properties. That's why we have some knowledge for flexural behavior of beam also. And these are the difference between analysis and design. In analysis part, we have given cross section dimension, concrete strength, steel area and location. And in design part, we have given only design load and applied moment. In analysis part, we have to find stresses, ultimate bending moment, and in design part, we have to design elements, concrete strength and area of steel. Analysis part is only unique answer and easy, and here it a lot of solution and it is difficult. Here we have to know that tensile strength is 7 to 15% of compressive strength. And here one term is called modulus of rupture, which is given in 456 2000. The theoretical maximum tensile stress reached in extreme fiber. With the help of this formula, we find the modulus of rupture 0.7 root FCK. And this one is the cracking moment. FCR is the cracking moment, which is given as M by Z. So cracking moment is, this equation is get with the help of bending equation. We know that F upon Y is equal to M by I is equal to E by R. So from that equation, here we get the cracking moment equation. Here IT is equal to moment area of transverse section and YT is equal to distance between neutral axis and extreme tension fiber. So these are the terms or relations which we use in LSM, and the most important thing here, we use the partial factor of safety, where we have to multiply this partial factor of safety with the material for reducing the material strength or enhance the load effect. So this lecture is over. Now we come with another lecture. In this we have to learn about the analysis and design part of LSM. Thank you.